Hi, everyone. Welcome to Ace Alliance Riga. Today, I would like to talk to you about something that's very important to me. Not about my company, not about Alea. We're doing game education. I'm sorry. I want to talk to you about well-being at work. Um, not just corporate culture, not about giving benefits and perks to the employees, but about something that money can't buy, which is your health, which is our health. And when I say our health, and I started said your health, in a way, I dissociate myself from my employees, and I should not. We are a tribe, so it's our health. And you may have 100 problems, but when you lose your health, you only have one problem. So if there's something we can give to ourselves, and not just our employees, but ourselves, it's health. And how can we do that in a corporate culture? And how can we do that without jeopardizing hustle culture? So you're going to tell me hustle culture, are you pushing your people that hard? No. Unfortunately not. I would like to push them harder. I am an entrepreneur. I want to push them. I want them to work harder. I want them to produce more, and I want them to spend more hours working. So we're not in la la lands. However, I need them to be healthy, and I want them to be healthy. And something funny happens just a couple of days ago. An employee that's been with us for, I don't know if it's 2 or 3 years, post on LinkedIn and say, I've been in Alea for 2 or 3 years, and I would like to share something with you. It's that my health changed. I sleep better. I feel better. I train. I eat better. And I'm very thankful for that. Mission accomplished for us. So I'm going to go into that presentation, which should take normally 40 minutes, and I have just 15 minutes, and already 5 minutes. Okay. So, Alea, we founded the company in 2012, and our journey started by giving free coffee and free water to the employees. And at that time, we were very proud of doing it. Free. You got free coffee. What you laughing at? Some other companies, you had to pay €1 to get an espresso cup that was costing them 30 cents. And we were giving it for free. So we were very proud, we thought, hey, cool, And we were giving free water, which is, these big jars of water, and you push the button, and it's not good water. That's how it started. And we had fruits. We also had fruits. And then something changed drastically. And I'm going to move to the next slide, because otherwise I'm not going to have time to explain you what changed. Dramatic situations make you understand how fragile we are. Okay. COVID hit. We came back from ICE. It was February 2020. March 2020, COVID hit. It hit Barcelona really badly. I mean, we were under lockdown. First week, one of our contractors died. He was a handyman, 51 years old, went to the hospital, stayed a couple of days, died 3 days after when he got out. My father died the first week, 84 years old, out. And do you remember, it's hard to get back there. There was no vaccine, there was nothing, there was no PCR test. There was just this little blood test you would do, like a prick, like a glucose test that would tell you if you have COVID, you don't have COVID. It was something like, yeah, maybe yes, maybe not, And people were dying, literally dying. And office was closed. And I thought, what if I had a hyperbaric chamber on for myself and for my father. And the benefit of the hyperbaric chamber would be the following. When you have COVID, you go into hypoxia. So basically, your body is oxygen deprived. And you can see it with this pulse oximeter. It goes from 99% to 88, 86%. And why? Because hemoglobin, the heme, the iron in your blood, cannot bind with oxygen. So 1 day, 2 days, 3 days, 4 days, like that, you become a little bit bluish. And then you have one kidney that stops working. The burden goes on the other kidney stops working, the liver, the heart, and you die from what's called a cytokine storm. Basically, all your organs are collapsing. And I thought, I'm actually an experience it myself 1.5 years after when I had COVID. My oxygen level would drop down and I would go into hyperbaric chamber. Then I would go back to 99%. And after a couple of hours, I would go back to 88, 86%, go back to the hyperbaric chamber, and it would keep me alive like a lifeline, you know? And then after 5-6 days, I would wake up in the morning and my oxygen level would be at 99%. So I knew I got out of the acute phase. Why I'm telling you that? Why the fuck would the iGaming company buy a 150K device that's huge? It's a huge tank that we have in an office. We did that in March. I called the manufacturer, OxyHelp, and I said, please bring me that chamber now. And said, actually, we have one going to Madrid for Real Madrid. And I said, fancy. Thank you. I remember when I should have got mine a couple of years ago, the small one, it went to Sergio Ramos, who is the captain or whatever. I don't look football. I don't watch football of Real Madrid. And I said, you know what? You gave it to him. Now give that big one to me. I said, okay, we're friends now. I can do that for you. Real Madrid can't wait. Thank you. They brought it, they mounted it in the office, and there was nobody at the office. And what I was waiting for, what I was imagining is that if someone from my company would feel sick, I would go with my car by night, take the rest of being contaminated and put them in the chamber and create this little small like hospital inside the company, giving them food, etc., for them to survive. Because when you had COVID, you were going to the hospital and they were putting your mask that was blowing air into your lungs, but that wouldn't work. When you are in an hyperbaric chamber, you have the oxygen, but you are under pressure. You are under 2 atmospheres. So the oxygen is poor within your cells and you can survive. It's known today as a very effective method to survive COVID and the cytokine storm. Okay? And if you think about it, I didn't do it, to be honest with you, thinking about all my employees. I did it because I thought of my business partner, my co-founder, Charlotte, who is also my best friend. I thought about my CTO, Edward, and I thought if I lose these 2 persons or one of these 2 persons, I can close the company. It's half humanistic, half pragmatic, if you see what I mean. So humanistic because they're really close to me, they're my friends. I mean, I don't want to lose them. Pragmatic because I don't want to close the company. And then I thought about all the other people, and that's how we came up with this. What do we do with this hyperbaric chamber today? We go there, we relax, we have meetings. We have a very interesting new case study 1 year ago. I'm going to pass away the 20 minutes. 1 year ago, C-level came to me and say, my father has Parkinson. Do you think that the chamber could help him? And I would say, yes, of course. The chamber could help him, bring him. There's a case study about it. I mean, there's a lot of studies showing that if you have dementia, I bought it, the small one for my father because he had dementia. I was putting him inside the chamber with a crane because he couldn't walk and talk anymore. And I saw the results on him after 1 session. He went from non-responsive to start like shouting and showing stuff. And eyes big, wide open. And he said, the problem that I have is that if I bring my father, people are going to think that I have C-level privilege. I said, no, everybody can bring their father, grandmother, sister, whatever. We have a device that we bought in 2020 because of COVID, and it's basically sleeping in the office because nobody wanted to go inside at the beginning. We had to convince people. We had to take them by the hand, show them. When we set up the gym, nobody was going at the gym neither. For 3 or 4 months, the gym was completely empty. We had to bring personal trainers and push people. And now there's like 10, 20 people at each session. Okay. So I said, no, everybody can bring their family. It's fine. But the thing is there, okay. So I bring my father. I talked to the father. I see him trembling. I mean, all the Parkinson symptoms. And then he came to me, the employee, and he said, my father wants to talk to you after 6 months. And he said, look, I want to say thank you, blah, blah, blah. My doctor he doesn't believe what's happening to me. So first of all, you can see that my hand's not shaking anymore. My right feet, I can use it again so I can drive, because I had to stop driving because I couldn't do that anymore on the accelerator, My speech is back. So not only it stopped the progression of Parkinson, it reversed it. All right. And he said, I'm so grateful I have access to this technology. You don't have it in hospitals. It's very hard to find. And your doctor wouldn't prescribe it to you. And I almost feel guilty that I have access to that and not other people. And to be honest, I feel the same. I feel a sense of guilt sometimes that we are gifted with that and others are not. And that's why I believe it is so important that we can offer these things to ourselves. So this is this device, this tank. And we also have it in conferences. We bring it during conferences. Yeah, you've been there? You've been inside? Yeah. And you've been inside? No, okay. So when you go inside this, so you see people are working inside, they're doing their meetings now. When you go inside it, you have oxygen and you have pressure, and it does impact the way you think. You think differently. You're hyperoxygenated, you have pressure, you feel awake. Let's say if you had a sleep deprivation or if you have hangover, you feel much better. And very, very short, what we decide to record a podcast inside of it because we thought it would be very funny to have people experiencing that and answering questions. And actually, one of our guests was David Natroshvili, the founder of Spry. At the middle of the thing, he says, "Could you please cut it down?" I said, "Why?" He said, "I don't feel well." It's like, put it. All right. Quick, the 10 commandments of wellness. What should you do? What we've recommended our employees to do and what we track with the Whoop. All of our employees have a Whoop. See, some of you have. I've got a couple of them in that bag, and if somebody wants a Whoop, just raise your hand. Oh, shit. Of course, on the list. So, we have a group within the Whoop app where we see, each employee see each other. We have challenges. We have a WhatsApp group. We have a Slack group, and we have an in-house biohacker that's setting up the challenges, looking at the data and sharing his insight of what's happening when we do these kind of challenges. And we notice some very important things. So sunlight first thing in the morning. First thing in the morning, you wake up. Before you eat, you look at the sun. Okay, not directly, but no sunglasses, no glasses, no window. You get out. The best thing is walk. 10 minutes, 20 minutes. If you're in Barcelona, 10 minutes. If you're in London, it's going to be more 30 minutes. First thing, sunlight in the morning. Why? It's going to raise your cortisol. You're going to say cortisol is bad. It's a stress hormone. Yeah, cortisol is bad at night. But actually, if you want it to go down at night, you need to shield it up in the morning, and then it will slowly go down at night. If you don't have the shoot of cortisol in the morning, cortisol is going to stay high during the whole day, and you're going to probably have difficulties to sleep at night. Also, sunlight is going to help you produce the melatonin that you need to fall asleep at night. Okay. So sunlight first thing in the morning. Then coffee window. If you don't drink coffee, at least 90 minutes before you wake up. Okay. We have something called adenosine that's linked to our neuron. When we wake up, we need to wash that out. It takes 90 minutes and then you drink coffee. If you drink coffee before that, it binds with adenosine and then you have the coffee crush after a couple of hours. Second thing, don't drink coffee at least 10 hours before you're going to go to bed. Okay. So if you have your coffee at 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning, you're still going to have coffee in your system. You can fall asleep very easily. However, your sleep stage is going to be altered. You need less deep sleep. Basically, you're going to have a higher heart rate and lower heart rate variability. We've seen it. Okay, stay hydrated, drink water all day, cold shower, hot lunch in the morning. Many benefits. It multiplies by 2.5 your levels of serotonin and dopamine and norepinephrine during 4 to 6 hours. So your baseline multiplied by 2.5. That's exactly what cocaine does for 30 minutes. Cocaine, 30 minutes. Cold shower or cold plunge, 4 to 6 hours. I'll let you choose. Food and fasting. Eat well, fast. I'm going to pass on that one. Dim light at night. Light is like, again, cocaine at night. If you have very strong light coming from above, you notice it. You need incandescent light, the light that produces heat, the old filament light. The light needs to come from down. It needs to be red. It needs to be dimmed. If it's halogen light, LED light, this white light coming from above, it's going to keep you awake at night. Very, very bad for your sleep. We've done tests with that, and it's very well. Exercise, of course, move hourly. You can do exercise 4 times per week. You can train. You can do all these beautiful things. If you don't move every hour, sitting is the new smoking. You know that. Screen-free bedtime. You don't watch any screen 1 hour before you go to bed. No alcohol. Not even 1 glass of wine per week. So, no. 1 glass of wine per week lowers your dopamine baseline. 1 glass wine per week. 1 glass of wine before going to bed fucks up completely with your sleep stages and your deep sleep. If you want to have the 1 glass of wine, take it at least 2 hours before you go to bed, drink a little of water, and let's make it through the day. I have one bonus, very important. Eye mask. That's a fucking game changer. I mean, I spend 80% of my life in hotels, traveling all the time. Sometimes they have good curtains, sometimes they don't. You put this on your eyes and you're going to sleep much, much better. And you can also, these ones have earplugs, courtesy of Swag 42. Right? It's 42? 42. Swag 42. Eye mask, very important. Okay. We have time left? I have. No. Okay. So, just one thing. Conferences are killer for many reasons, because we travel, because we all here in the same room, because we are biological body, because we exchange bacteria and viruses, because when we eat and we drink, we split in our plates, and we exchange a lot of virus and bacteria. Of course, alcohol, when we are in conferences, try to skip as much as you can, and jet lag. And now I'm just going to play that video, and I promise, Farouk, it's the last thing I will do. How do I play this? I don't play this. I don't wait. Can I just humanism versus capitalism, and it's got to be the final word. And I said it about it. I think we won. I don't remember anymore. Like 6 awards in the last year and a half, only about best employer of the year or best place to work of the year. Okay, not about best aggregator, etc., etc. We did also won these awards. But what I want to try to tell you, whatever your reasons are, give the ownership of the employee's well-being to human resources, where it belongs, or give it to marketing. I don't care. Just do it. Even give it to marketing, because it's going to make you look fancier. Because on your LinkedIn, you're going to be able to post things, how good you are with your employees. I don't care. Just do it. Just do it. It works. It works very well. It works very well to attract people, talent in your company. It works very well for another reason. And you can even say it in the face of your customers. And I'm going to say it now, and I may have some of my customers here. I'm sorry about what I'm going to say, but I'm going to say it. Our employees, let's say it in front of this crowd during the awards, are more important than our customers. For a simple reason. We couldn't deliver you, our customers, and our suppliers, the service we do without our employees. That's why they come first for us. They are the tribe we work with every day. They are us. We are together. And we wouldn't be able to serve you without them. So they do come first. They're our first assets. We are. It's a body. It's a tribe. It's not a family. Why it's not a family? Because they have their family. They have kids. They have wives. They have the pets. They have their real family. So we're not a family. We're a tribe. We're ruled by meritocracy and by hierarchy, not by blood. And why we're not ruled by blood? Because if we were ruled by blood, the stupid brother will win over the smart cousin. So we're not a family. We are a tribe. It's very important. It's a very important distinction. And you can take it from me. It's okay. You don't have to quote me. Why do I say that? Because a lot of companies say, we're a family. No, you're not. And you don't want to be. And that's it.